Blog Talk Radio.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
this is Learn to Kick Fear with Low.
Take action.
Learn how internet marketers, real estate investors, and other entrepreneurs are overcoming their fears and making it happen and being successful.
You know she's got the 411.
It's time to kick those fears to the curb with Low. Right now.
Well, hello, everyone. And again, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Learning to Kick Fear to the Curb with Lo. I am your host, Lolita, a.k.a. Lo. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. I got a really special interview that I'm doing today. This is with a gentleman that actually understands businesses. He understands how to help businesses grow, how to raise a lot of money for businesses. So I'm really excited about this particular show with none other than Mr. Eric Kim. And before we bring him on, I'll share a little bit about him. He's got a long list and an impressive resume about himself and what he's been able to accomplish. But a little bit about him. He is the founder and managing director at Planet Business for over 17 years. Eric has been helping both large publicly traded companies as well as private corporations and small businesses with their funding and positioning needs. Eric has a natural skill that has been developed to strip down a business to its core strengths and then build it back up. The business value, he's great at communicating, and he has those strengths of being able to help businesses and bring out those opportunities to potential leaders and or investors. So I'm really excited, and without further delay, I'd like to introduce and welcome Eric to the show. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Lolita. How are you? Thank you for having me on. And thank you for that introduction.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and thank you for taking out the time to really just talk to us in the audience about the importance of having not just necessarily a business plan. You do more than that, and that's what I'm really excited to share with the listeners. You guys at your company, you do a little bit more than that. But if you don't mind, share a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. Thank you. Well, I've worn a lot of hats and been part of some of the largest corporations in the world, as well as founding several of my startups. But I think the common denominator in my background is really my skill set. Being able to really analyze companies and business models, Lolita, and then writing them down from an investment merits perspective, and really understanding what a business funder, a bank, and or users within a corporation, describing their value proposition and writing that down in a compelling manner, as well as creating the financial modeling, which helps support any value propositions and investment theses. I guess a little bit about my personal background. I lived all over the U.S. Started my career 18 years ago as a management consultant in Los Angeles with Anderson Consulting. Got my MBA from Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania. I was an investment banker for most of my career as an IPO and M&A advisor in San Francisco. I was a late-stage venture capital and early-stage private equity investor with Dresner Capital in New York. And then I worked in-house for a little bit for an internet company that was acquired by Intuit. And then I was at Google in California in their finance and strategy department, and a CFO of a couple smaller companies. I moved to Dallas about 3 years ago to co-found an oil and gas software company. We raised about $6 million in venture capital money and had an opportunity to recently sell the assets. And then I founded Planet Business in 2009 in California, but been running it out of our North Dallas offices since the beginning of the year.
Awesome.
That's me in a nutshell.
That's great. I mean, you've pretty much, you're very versatile, obviously, and you've had experience with a lot of different things, obviously, that has helped you to create and, obviously be the creator of Planet Business managing director. So I know that has helped you a great deal with your business, and I want to ask you more about your company, Planet Business. Now, what all type of services do you provide for businesses?
Yeah, great. We say if it has to do with evaluating a company, making recommendations, doing financial modeling, we can do it. Planet Business, we think of it as a best-in-class business plan writing company. Most of our clients seek our business plan services so they can present it to a bank or, a VC or an angel investor. We think our biggest competitive advantage really is that, we understand how banks and equity funders, how they view a business plan. We attempt to write them such that we're preempting a lot of the questions that they would normally have. And us having been on the other side of the table really helps our vision and our vantage point. But beyond just business plans, I'd say that's about 75% of our business.
Okay.
We also provide financial modeling, pro forma forecasting, 3 to 5 years. We do valuation, business valuation. Perhaps you're positioning a company for sale. We can help with that process as well as value the company. We also do feasibility studies, private placement memorandums. The list goes on and on. We do investor presentations, board of director presentations. We do operation manuals. We do franchise disclosure documents. We help companies raise capital, not only on the positioning side and the business plan side, but also taking it to market. We have a pretty wide network of investors, friends, high net worth individual investors, banks that trust our business plan, and they have passwords to our website, so they can go onto our site and look at your business plan and hopefully fund some of them. And it happens quite often. So we thought we'd be remiss if we just provided the business plan and the documents. We help make introductions where it makes sense as well. So I think we generally consider ourselves as your outsourced CFO, your outsourced finance department. So we hope to be helpful in a lot of different ways.
That's absolutely fantastic. And my show is obviously my audience is attracts business owners and entrepreneurs. So this is absolutely the key foundation, and you have to have this in place if you want to be considered a serious growing business. So that's why I really wanted to share your company and what you do with the audience, because this is what you need at the foundation of it in order to really grow. Or if you're kind of a small business, like say myself and as well as another partner of mine, Stephen, which in order to take it to the next level, we are utilizing your services to help us do that, because we know that we can't unless we have, certain things in place. So I just want our listeners to understand this is an absolutely, critical part of growing and being a very successful business, and Eric and his team are very good at that. Now, another thing I want to ask, and it seems obvious to myself and to you as well, but really, share why is it so important for business to have a business plan?
Yeah, great question, and it's a question we get a lot as well. I kind of liken it to getting into a car and driving somewhere new for the first time, without a map or a GPS to help guide you. You can't really know where you're headed if you don't know where you're going. That type of analogy. I think for startups, it's critical, and first of all, doing the analysis and getting your vision on paper, and also from there, analyzing the market, and also, does it make sense from a financial perspective? Is it worth the investment? Are you quitting a job, or are you taking out a mortgaging your house to fund this business idea? You have to first get your thoughts on paper, do your analysis, and it's really to convince yourself, and particularly if you're looking for funding, how you need to have a case or provide the pitch, for a funder, whether it's a bank or an equity investor, to put in money to make an investment. Just as it is important in that case, it's also important to convincing yourself. whether it's worth making that investment, whether it's worth, quitting your job. So I think first and foremost for startups and entrepreneurs, it's really a roadmap. And of course, for existing companies, I see them use business plans to, detail their operations. Perhaps they've been growing so quickly that, they're doing things by the seat of their pants. And, to really grow properly, you should probably document your operations, policies, and procedures. You can use it for recruiting key members of management. And, of course, present it to a bank and a VC for expansion capital. Yeah.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. So what does your company do differently, I guess, because, there's a lot of business planners and things that are out there. But can you name maybe one or two things that you all do differently to kind of stand out from the other business planning companies?
Yeah, great question. I think in one word, it's experience, full stop. We're not just writers. Business plan writers, that's a bit of a misnomer. We're certainly not freelance writers. We're not former journalists or English majors. We really provide our experience, having created organizations from the bottom up, having, hired a team, having created operations, having raised capital for ourselves. So I just feel like you can't really write about something if you haven't done it yourself in the past, either for clients or for yourself. And so we really provide our experience. I think that is the biggest difference. It's not like we send you a form and make you fill it out and then we just kind of put it into a pretty format. We like to challenge your business assumptions. We like to provide advice just from our experience of similar business models, to tell you what worked and tell you what hasn't worked. I think that's the real value in business planning, so much more than just a document that we ship off to you. And
absolutely.
I think that's
awesome. And I think that's a lot. and also,
okay.
when I've been at your website, you guys have a great site, but you also have some real testimonials there. And I think that speaks volumes as well and helps, I know for myself as a consumer, it's good to be able to not only see experience, but also see testimonials of real individuals that, they have worked with and they've serviced and provided service for. And that helps as well, and you all have that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What are a few common questions that you've received about business planning, maybe from clients or, people that are calling, to just get more information? What are some of the more common questions that people have had? And just share some of the answers that you've shared with them.
Absolutely. I think, by the way, the most frequent question we get is, how much is it? Which
right.
we don't have as much as business plans are very unique. There's not two that are exactly alike. So is our pricing. We really try to be thoughtful in understanding what is it that you want. What are your goals, and then recommend a strategy in which we can help you get there. And then we price according to that statement of work, so to speak. We don't have kind of canned off the shelf, templates or software that we can say, hey, this one is, $500 or $600. Again, we price collaboratively with you, and the most important thing is that we sell you something that can be useful to you, and sell you something that hopefully gets results. And so that's how we answer that question, and it really is, working together with you. I think the second question we get, most frequent question is, how long does it take? Our process is 2 to 3 weeks. That's pretty standard, of course, depending on what it is. Just like price, timing is customized too. We can work within 1 week. Generally, we charge a premium for that just because we need to reprioritize our workload. But in order for us to really understand your business, ask the right questions, do our research and financial modeling, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for a turnaround of a draft. I guess, let's see, third most frequent question is, can you guarantee funding? So we get a lot. Of course, the answer is no. And any business plan writer that says yes, that they guarantee funding, you better hope that they're the one cutting the check. Because if you're not the one cutting the check, there's no way you can guarantee any funding. So, we try to be very upfront and honest and say, hey, look, we can't guarantee that. We can guarantee quality of our business plan. That's the one thing we can guarantee, but we can't guarantee funding. Awesome. Those would be the top 3 questions. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Now, what are some of the advantages of people working with you? And before you answer that, I know you say that you guys are located in North Dallas, but you can help, business owner anywhere in the United States. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I think most of our clients are actually, on the West Coast or East Coast, and everywhere in between. So we have a process that's pretty efficient that allows us to give good prices, yet same high quality of work, using GoToMeeting, web conferencing, and asking a lot of the questions up front. On occasion, we'll go out and visit our clients and to do that due diligence, the information gathering. But, yeah, we work with international companies as well. We've worked with people in India, Dubai, China, Canada, of course, Mexico, and Brazil.
That is excellent. So, yes, you are nationwide. Well, yeah. I want to thank you so much for for allowing me to interview you today, but I also want you to share with the audience where they can find you, your website, and also how they can contact you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, on the web, we're at www.pibplan.com. That's spelled P as in Peter, I as in ice cream, B as in boy, followed by the word plan.com. Our 1-800 number is 800-894-0868. And my email, you can email me directly. I'm at eric@pibplan.com. So any of those methods will make it to us, and we'll be very efficient and expedient on the follow-up.
Absolutely. And last question, if people wanted to schedule a meeting with you for you to potentially work with them, can you share maybe a few things that they would need to have in order, to make the meeting more productive, or, not just any Joe Blow that may have some type of service where they don't have anything together, or, is there anything that you would like to see or that you encourage them to have whenever you set up, some type of meeting or consultation with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, I think the more you have probably will make the process a little more efficient, just from a, due diligence perspective. That's not to say we expect you to have a business plan prior, or, a data room set up with all information, but generally some advanced research, some advanced notes at least help. And it could be on the back of an envelope kind of note-taking, but, we first ask for that, but it's not a necessity. We've helped, so many companies in all different industries that it's likely that one of us on the team have some domain knowledge in your particular industry. So if you don't have that, I know most people are busy working their day jobs, and this is a concept or an idea they want to launch. So we generally like to schedule a 1-hour kickoff call, 1 hour to 90 minutes kickoff call, where, we'll ask you the questions. And so come as you are.
That is awesome. Well, no, that's good to know, because I think a lot of people may feel intimidated, and think, oh, well, I don't have my stuff together, I'm not ready to talk about a business plan or whatever. That's very, very good to know, because I think a lot of people do get intimidated. So, again, Eric, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you. Everyone, go to planetbusiness.com. Again, that's plan, itbusiness.com. Give them a call. Let them help you get set up and be structured so you can become a real business. Eric, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Lo. Thank you, audience.